Hey, deep divers, welcome back. You're scrolling through YouTube, and then bam, you see a video of a flaming ballot box. And now you're thinking, uh-oh, is my vote even safe? Is the whole election rigged?
Right.
But don't worry, deep divers, we've got you.
Absolutely.
We're diving into the heart of election security today.
Yeah.
We've got this article from the Daily Beast breaking down the facts, and we'll be unpacking all the juicy details so you can feel confident about casting your vote.
Yeah, it's definitely a visual that grabs you, right? A ballot box literally going up in flames. But the experts are actually pretty calm about it, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, seeing those images definitely makes you do a double take. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So why aren't the experts freaking out? What are they seeing that we're not?
Well, for starters, they point to the fact that voting, whether by mail, ballot box, or in person, is statistically quite safe. And they have reasons for that confidence, right? It's not just a feeling. The article breaks down all these safeguards that are built into the system.
Okay, so like what? Give us the specifics. What's stopping someone from messing with our votes?
Think of it like layers of protection. You've got independent observers keeping an eye on things, post-election audits to double-check the results, and even logic and accuracy tests for those voting machines.
Oh, wow.
It's designed to be really, really hard to manipulate.
So it's not as simple as just like tossing a match into a ballot box and calling it a day.
Not even close. They quote a Michigan election worker, Evelyn Smith, who said faking even a single ballot would be virtually impossible with all the checks and balances in place. I mean, that's pretty reassuring.
Yeah. Starting to feel a little better already. But the article does mention that there can be problems.
Uh-oh.
They talk about this thing called certifying results.
No.
Is that where things can actually go wrong?
It seems that way. The article uses this example from 2020 in Wayne County, Michigan. Republican commissioners there actually refused to certify the election results, which caused a total deadlock.
Wait, seriously, why would they do that? Was there like actual evidence of fraud?
That's the million-dollar question, right? The article hints that it might have been more about political strategy than actual concerns about the vote count. So it becomes a question of motives. What's really driving those decisions?
Okay, so maybe the fires themselves aren't the biggest threat, but there's this whole other layer of complexity when it comes to certifying the results. That's pretty unsettling.
It definitely adds another dimension to the whole thing. And this is where things get even more interesting.
Welcome back, deep divers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got this whole potential for trouble with certifying election results, but what about those actual burning ballot boxes? Are those a serious threat or just for shock value?
Right. It is pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Department of Homeland Security, that's DHS, did issue a warning about potential sabotage, and some people on social media are definitely encouraging it. But here's the interesting part. Most of these boxes are designed to be pretty tough to destroy.
So they're like mini Fort Knoxes for our votes.
Kidding.
That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, they're built with fire suppression systems and sturdy materials so they can withstand a lot. And get this, 92% of local officials have actually increased security around election infrastructure. So while the threat is real, they're definitely stepping up their game to protect things.
Okay, so it's like a tug of war.
Right. Okay.
Efforts to disrupt versus efforts to protect.
Right.
Which side do you think has the upper hand?
It's a constant battle for sure, but the fact that officials are taking these threats seriously and implementing safeguards is encouraging. But the article actually points to something even trickier than physical threats.
Oh, this is where we get to the spooky stuff, right? What's lurking in the shadows of our democracy?
Disinformation. Jen Easterly, the head of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA for short, actually says this is the biggest danger to our elections, even bigger than those burning boxes.
Wait, really? Why is disinformation so dangerous?
Well, think about it. A physical threat, while scary, is usually localized. But disinformation spreads like wildfire online. It's designed to sow doubt and confusion on a massive scale.
So it's like a virus infecting our brains.
Exactly. And that can have real-world consequences. The article quotes Gauri Ramachandran from the Brennan Center, who warns that when people are bombarded with disinformation, it can lead to distrust in the entire system, voter apathy, and even violence.
So how do we protect ourselves from this invisible enemy? I mean, it feels like disinformation is everywhere these days.
Yeah.
It's like playing whack-a-mole.
You're not wrong. It can definitely feel overwhelming. But the article emphasizes that we all have a role to play in combating this. We can share accurate information with our friends and family, call out lies when we see them, and support organizations fighting for truth and transparency.
Okay, so it's a collective effort. We need to be like a digital neighborhood watch, looking out for each other and keeping our information ecosystem clean. What else can we do as individual voters?
Well, one of the simplest things is to just check your voter registration status, make sure all your information is up to date, and that you're registered at the correct address. You'd be surprised how many people forget to do that.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy one to overlook. I should probably double-check mine just in case. Anything else?
Definitely educate yourself on the voting rules and deadlines in your specific state. They can vary quite a bit, so it's important to know the details where you live.
Right. Wouldn't want to miss a deadline and lose my chance to vote. Okay, I'm writing this down. Any other quick tips for navigating this disinformation minefield?
Be mindful of what you share on social media. Before you repost that shocking headline or viral video, take a moment to verify its authenticity. Could it be disinformation in disguise?
Good point. We can all be part of the solution by stopping the spread of misinformation. But sometimes it feels like we're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for sure. But remember, our democracy relies on us being informed and engaged. Don't let fear or confusion keep you from participating.
Welcome back, Deep Divers. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from those attention-grabbing burning ballot boxes to the more insidious threat of disinformation.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little more informed, but maybe also a little overwhelmed by all this.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we even begin to tackle all these challenges to our elections?
It's easy to feel powerless in the face of all these complex issues, but what's interesting is that the article actually emphasizes the power we do have as individual voters.
Right.
We have agency, we have a voice, and we have a responsibility to participate in our democracy.
Okay, that's a good reminder. I was starting to feel like crawling under a rock and waiting for it all to blow over, haha.
Yeah.
But seriously, what are some concrete things we can do to make a difference? Besides voting, of course, we already know that's important.
Absolutely. Voting is crucial. But the article also highlights some other practical steps. For example, it encourages us to contact our city clerks if we have any questions or concerns. They're a great resource for information about local elections.
So it's about being proactive and reaching out for help if we need it. I like that.
Exactly. The article also suggests utilizing online ballot tracking tools.
Oh,
That way you can actually follow your ballot's journey and make sure it's been received and counted.
that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So we have more control over the process than we might realize.
More than you might think. And remember those replacement ballots we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
If you ever worried about your ballot getting lost or damaged, you can always request a new one.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling more empowered now. Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
But let's be real. Not everyone has the time or energy to become, like, an election security expert.
Right.
What's a quick and easy way to stay ahead of the game?
One super simple thing is to just check your voter registration status.
Okay.
Make sure all your information is up to date and that you're registered at the correct address. You'd be surprised how many people forget to update the registration when they move.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one to overlook. I'm going to check mine as soon as we're done recording, just in case.
Great. And here's another one that's easy to forget. Educate yourself on the specific voting rules and deadlines in your state.
Okay.
Each state has its own regulations, so it's important to be aware of those nuances.
Right. Don't want to miss any important deadlines. Okay, I'm making a note of that, too. Any other quick tips for navigating this whole election landscape?
This one's especially important in the age of social media. Be mindful of what you share online. Before you repost that shocking headline or viral video, take a moment to verify its authenticity. Could it be disinformation in disguise?
Good point.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the outrage cycle and just hit that share button without thinking critically. We can all be part of the solution by stopping the spread of misinformation.
Absolutely. And finally, remember those conversations we talked about earlier. Talk to your friends and family about these issues. Encourage them to vote, to be critical of their information sources, and to participate in our democracy in a meaningful way.
So it's all about spreading awareness, empowering each other, and taking action. I love that.
Exactly. The future of our democracy depends on it.
Well said. Okay, deep divers. We've gone from burning ballot boxes to the complexities of disinformation, and finally to practical steps for protecting our votes. It's been quite a journey, but one thing's for sure, our democracy is resilient. We just need to stay informed, engaged, and hopeful. Don't let fear or confusion keep you from exercising your right to vote.
Couldn't have fit it better myself. Remember, your vote is your voice. Don't let anyone silence it.
And that, deep divers, is a wrap on our deep dive into election security. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell us your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.